Hi guys, today we are going to be learning how to find the area of composite figures. So again, the area would be the complete space taken up by an object here. So if we knew this side was 2 and this side was 2, area for a rectangular or square figure is length times width. So here it would just be 2 times 2, which would give us an area of 4. Okay, 4 units squared. All right, because it's this dimension, 2 units by 2 units. And the squared shows us that it's covering up this whole entire space. So I always like to think area is like a carpet, right? It's going to cover the whole space. And previously we were talking about perimeter. Perimeter is like a fence, right? You would build a fence around a space, but if you were to find the area of something, you would completely cover it, right? So just make sure you're super clear on that difference. And another quick review when we are talking about circles, the area of a circle is pi r squared. So here the radius would be 1, so it would be pi times 1 squared. And remember, we're really just using 3.14 in place of pi, and 1 squared is the same as saying 1 times 1, right? That's what that squared means. So 1 times 2, it's 1 times itself. So we have two ones there, right? So 1 times 1 is just 1, so our total area is 3.14, and we're going to say units squared. Okay, there we go. So when we're talking about composite figures, we are actually going to combine these types of figures. Okay, so if you look at this one, I want you to see that really what we have is two semicircles and a rectangle in between. So if we were to put these two together, we would have a complete circle. So we could find the area of that part by figuring out the radius, which right here is going to be 4, right? And the area of a circle is pi times the radius squared. So we're going to have 3.14 times 4 squared, which is just 4 times 4, right? So once you know the numbers to multiply together, you can get out your calculator and do that, or you can just do it on paper if you want to. So that will give us the area of this part plus this part, right? Because we know two semicircles together give us a full circle, right? So 3.14 times 16
full.
is 50.24. So now we're just going to find the area of this rectangle here. And we know it's length times width. So this is 2 times this would be 8. 2 times 8 is going to give us 16. So we're going to end up with 16 plus 50.24 to find the area of this entire composite figure here. So 50 plus this would be a 66.24. Remember, our units are going to always be squared when we're talking about area. All right, so guys, composite figures, remember, are a lot of different shapes meshed into one. I want to talk to you about how to solve when you have a diagonal here. And remember, you're finding the area. So what we could do is we could actually break this down into smaller figures, right? And we would say this is 3 times 5, so the area here would be 15. Sometimes I like to actually write the area inside and just circle it. This is going to be a 2 times 3, so that area is 6. Now, when we're talking about a triangle, you could say, well, that's a half a unit, and that would combine with this half a unit. Okay, that is a little elementary. That's one way to solve it, but you guys are a little more sophisticated. So I want to talk to you about imagining that this was a square or rectangle. And so what you're going to find is that the area, this part, is 1/2 of that square, right? Do you guys see that? So in order to find the area, we would say this is 3 times 3, but it's half of that. So we're going to say 1/2 of 3 times 3. 1/2 of 9 essentially is going to be 4.5. So this area here would be a 4.5. All right. So we are going to add all these up. 15 and then 6 plus 4.5 would be 10.5. So we have 25.5 units squared. So that is how you are going to calculate when you have a triangle. And I also want to show you that that strategy works if you have a triangle that is a little different shape. So if it's like that, okay, that's your triangle. I want you to imagine that you had a rectangle that size, and here is 4, there's 3. The area of this is going to be 1/2 of the area of that entire rectangle. So we're going to say 1/2 of 4 times 3. So this would be equal to 6. And the whole area here is equal to 6. And this strategy is important because if you look here, you can't count up half triangles, right? So knowing the formula for calculating the area of a triangle is super important for you here. And I think that is all that you guys are. Oh, there's no, what? There's one more fun part here. Okay, they have some composite figures where you are going to have to find the area of one part and then subtract another part. Okay, so here's a really fun one that they have for you. They have something that looks like this, and they want you to find the area of this part. So you're going to have to come up with a strategy for that. And that is going to be to find the area of the entire rectangle and subtract the area of the triangle. Remember, which is 1/2 length times width, and this is just length times width. So you're going to have different dimensions. So this width here is 1, and the height of this is 3. So you're going to have 1/2 of 3 times 1. And then your rectangle is going to be, let's see, what does this look like? 8 by 3. So we have 8 times 3 minus this. And you could put parentheses around this to remind you that you have to do this part first and then subtract this. So this would be 24 minus 1/2 of 3 is going to be 1.5. So this is going to be a 22.5. Okay, so if you have a composite figure where you have to subtract part of it, figure out the area of the larger part and then subtract the smaller part that they've cut out there for you. Okay. Awesome. Good luck and have fun doing this assignment this week, guys.